This brings up a really great point, thank you, because anytime a building places anywhere, whether it's on purpose or by accident, most of the time it has to do with these things: crosshair placement, your positioning, and timing. This is why I find the 90s concept really cool to learn early on, because I think it helps teach those things, and it can also help lead to learning other building techniques. In this case, if we place a ramp here, wall, 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 as we do that motion, we're thinking about our crosshair placement. And something right here where you only want to put a floor below you, we have to still think about our crosshair placement, our positioning, and our timing. I'll exaggerate it here and I'll move over here to the far right, for example. If I'm to the far right of the ramp and to these right walls over here, if I put a floor, even looking down, which is supposed to help, I'll get a floor above me as well, even though I was looking down, right? Because a lot of it has to do with the positioning of where we're at too, and the way the builds connect, because everything around the Fortnite map, whether it's a creative map or in Battle Royale, all a grid. You know, you can see where everything places in within a grid. So knowing those things, crosshair placement, your positioning, and timing, staying to the far left of my ramp, positioning, placing our walls all the way around, and staying to the far left of my ramp, positioning, it'll really help when I'm placing that floor. I mean, I can look all the way down and place the floor and I won't get it above me, as opposed to if I was far over here. I know a lot of other players too will like to take out the floor and just put the ramp. Because I put the floor, you know, for a stronger base and so on. And that's the cool thing. You can customize the 90s. You can do a bunch of other stuff. There's no hard rules to any of this stuff. But if let's say you're putting the ramp only, you can see it better here, what's happening before I place it. If I'm to the far right or even to the middle, even looking down, I'm going to get stuck underneath it, right? But as opposed to if I was far left, I can time it out better, land right on it. If I do put the floor in the ramp, same thing. Jump, floor, ramp. What's cool about staying far left like this is I can even be late on the ramp. Let's say I jump and I just put the floor, but I haven't placed the ramp. Even at this position here, I can still place my ramp and then get it in there. So it's more forgiving the farther left you're at, as opposed to if I was too centered up or too way over here, I place my floor, naturally that ramp's going to end up behind me. So if this has ever happened to you when you're building up a 90s or building up anything like that, it has to do with that too. And timing's a big thing as well, you know, because even standing far right over here, if I jump, put the floor, even the ramp, I can get it here. I just have to wait a little longer before I place that ramp. So it's more forgiving the farther left you are. And that's why it's really cool that you bring up this point. It's going to help a lot of players who are learning how to build, because yeah, whether you're doing the 90s concept or whether you're doing these like 180 turn things that I like to do a lot, I think it really helps to keep in mind your crosshair placement, your positioning, and your timing. Because knowing those three things, you can purposely place builds in places where you might not have before. So let's say if you're building up like a 90s thing, maybe now you want to put the floor above you because you know how to do it. And then you can edit through that and keep going. If you're bridging across, you can look down and place a ramp behind you to cover your backside, that type of thing. It really helps. And I think that's a good point too, you know, putting a floor above you like that. I think having a strong sense of editing really helps, because whether you place builds on purpose or by accident, being able to edit through different building pieces helps, because you might place a floor above you here sometimes for protection above or for different ways. Sometimes I do this a lot, like exactly what happened here by accident. And then I'll just edit through that and edit through here and then keep going. So yeah, having a strong sense of editing helps for sure. If you find yourself getting stuck with a floor above you like you were here, or when you're doing some other type of building technique, having an understanding of crosshair placement, your positioning, and timing really helps, because then you can play around with those three things and see, well, wait a minute, let me check my crosshair placement, let me check my positioning, let me check my timing on it all to see exactly what's going on. But yeah, I hope this really helps. If you have any questions at all, I am here to help. It's really cool when you all help each other out as well. Thank you so much. Have fun playing. Take care.